got the KDMAX tune on board the 2017 Tacoma Off-Road here. We also have a Flowmaster FX Extreme exhaust system cat back on it, and we have the K&N open element air intake replacement filter on it. So we're gonna do a little experiment here. So I'm on the I-95 right now, cruising close to about 75 miles an hour. The speedo's a little bit off because of the tire replacement, but it's pretty close. If you look at the tach right now, you see that I'm in about 2100 RPM range, which means I'm in 5th gear. So I've been driving this now for about 1500 miles up and down the I-95 just to see how it performs. We're in a fairly flat section of road, and I want you to watch what happens. So I am not in cruise control mode. I have my foot on the throttle, and I'm maintaining speed, and I'm feathering the throttle back and forth to maintain speed. Now the truck wants to cruise at this speed in 5th gear. So we're in 5th gear, roughly 2100, 2200 RPMs. Road's fairly flat, backing up and down on the throttle with a little bit of variation. And for the most part, it's sticking in 5th gear. Occasionally it will drop up to 6th, and you can see it drop below 2000 RPMs when that goes to 6th. But for the most part, at this speed, I'm cruising in 5th gear, and I have pretty good control over the throttle without any problem. Things are working pretty well, and cruise control, most importantly, is off. Remember, I have the KDMAX tune installed. Okay? Alright, now let's see what happens when we switch to cruise control mode. Okay, so now we're in North Carolina, cruising with cruise control on. I had to jump off the interstate to get some gas. That's why I see a full tank now. Cruise control set at 73 miles per hour. Again, we're at fairly flat road here. We're going to get some change in elevation here in just a minute. Truck's cruising in 5th gear, running about 2100 RPMs. Probably not going to see much difference here unless something changes. Okay, there it goes. Alright, so it downshifted to 4th with just a little elevation change. Alright, now let's see what happens when we start leveling out here a little bit. So we're still at about 3100 RPMs in 4th. Alright, so the road is evened out again. We're approaching another vehicle here. Now I'm going to tap the gas. Okay, what you just heard, alright, now, you heard it shift up to 5th, then shift up to 6th, and then come back down to 5 while we're cruising. So we're back on a straight stretch of road. Now, if I wouldn't have tapped that gas, it would have stayed in 4th in cruise control indefinitely. But because I tapped that gas, alright, it upshifted to, or excuse me, downshifted to 4 again. I'm not touching anything. Cruise control is on. This is with the KDMAX tune. And again, we're on fairly flat ground here. So, watch what happens when I touch the gas. So I just bumped the gas, 5th, 6th, back to 5th. So we'll play around with this a little bit more and see what's going on. Okay, last thing to try. This time we're in synchronized manual mode. We're in 5th gear. Cruise control is off, so I'm using the throttle. And we're cruising in 5th gear at about 2100, 2200 RPMs. This is a fairly flat section of road. I don't know if we're going to get to any elevation here or not, but yeah, typical. Nothing. Well, there's actually a little bit of elevation change here. You're not going to see it all that well on the video because it's in wide angle mode. But this particular section, if it would have been in cruise control and in automatic mode for the transmission, we'd have likely had a shift change here. But as you can see, I'm cruising right along here in 5th gear, synchronized mode, maintaining speed with just a little bit of throttle control on my foot. I've also noticed that if you go to synchronized mode and shift to 4, it'll give you a lot of throttle control up and down in RPM range that will really bring you to speed pretty quick. So putting this all together, there's different effects of the KDMAX tune. You definitely have a heck of a lot more punch to the throttle. But in my opinion, for my truck, and my truck is its own package, it's probably going to be different than a lot of people's other people's packages. But for this package of stuff that I have on the truck, I think the KDMAX tune works best when you're using it in manual, not cruise control mode. And cruise control mode with this tune on my truck does still have some issues that aren't easily explained. So one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to call my tuner back and see if I should be doing anything differently or whatever else. That's not to say that I'm not pleased with it, okay? I think that the KDMAX tune is excellent. The truck is much more responsive. And I wasn't really looking just to have perfect cruise control. That wasn't what I was looking for. I was looking for a truck that gave me, much better throttle response and much better range within gears. And the KDMAX tune has definitely done that. But if you want, just a perfect cruise control all the time where it's not shifting, I just don't think you're going to find that. And we're coming up now to a little bit of elevation change, so I might as well keep on talking here just for a second. And you can see the road starting to increase a little bit now. Watch the speed, closing in on 80 miles an hour. I'm in synchronized mode, in 5th gear. It's working just fine, okay? Got good throttle with it. I'm feathering it, not having any issues, no shifting. So, there's a number of ways to do it. This is one of the ways. It's working well for me. I'm happy with it. Okay, that's it. Thanks for watching.